Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me. My name is Brittany Franson. I'm the Field Marketing Specialist here in the East Bay. Today's class, we're going to be going over website enhancements. Now, this is not going to be your basic website setup and design. I am, however, going to go through pretty briefly the website setup wizard and things like that, but we are mostly going to be focusing on some cooler, neater stuff that you might be able to integrate into your website and its design and the content that's on your website for your clients and your traffic to your website. So without further ado, just a reminder to you guys, if you wouldn't mind, please muting your microphones. If you want to leave me a question or have a comment on something or would like to have me do something again, at the end of each little section, I'll give you a little bit of time to either speak up, but feel free to always use that meeting chat. I will be checking that throughout the class today. We are, of course, recording this class, so if you have to hop off a little bit early, feel free to do so. I will include you in, or I will include the recording of this class in the recap today. Now, so today what we're going to be talking about, and the first thing is I'm going to go through just really briefly, like I said, the actual website setup, a quick overview of where you can put in things like your short bio versus your long bio, where that's going to actually populate on your website, community served and testimonials, that kind of stuff I'll run through pretty quickly. What I want to focus on is showing you guys how to add in widgets, how to add in pages, and how to add in links. So if you have some custom content, if you have some ideas of what you want to have on your website and available to your clients there, you'll be able to add those easily. I am going to show you how to add in images and videos though, so we will be kind of running through that and talking about how you can format those. I am going to show you how to add in your area or quarterly reports. So those are automatically updated for the area on a monthly basis, for the quarterly on a quarterly basis, of course. We're going to talk about what I think is the best way to add those into your website. And then we are going to briefly talk about creating some advanced searches. So if you particularly work in one little area, or if you have a farm that you want to have new listings and updates about those, you can actually add that onto your website as its own page and have people be able to see the new listings and data in that area. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and exit out of here. This is going to be a really fully based kind of demo class for you guys, where I'm going to walk you through a bunch of things. Again, feel free to use that chat if you have some questions as we go along. So our personal websites are all housed within InTouch. InTouch is going to be a couple of things for you. It is your email marketing, it is your CRM, and it's also where we have our marketing center. So if you want to put flyers and things like that together, but it's also your website. If you're interested in a more in-depth InTouch introduction, I would encourage you to take the 101, 102, and 103 classes so that you can get fully engaged with what InTouch is and can do for you. So I'm just going to go in. I've already pulled up one of my agents' InTouches. So from your home page here in InTouch, what you want to do is go up to website and go ahead and go to edit site. Two things I think, well, one thing I think is very important as you're doing any edits to your website is to also open up the live view. So we're going to do both. We're going to have both open. I'm going to go to the edit section and have the live view of my website available here. Now, the brief overview recap of your setup in general. Two places you're going to want to worry about is your appearance and then what is in your account information. And we'll go to account in just a moment here. But if you go to appearance, if you're brand new to Coldwell Banker, you're probably not going to see a website logo here. You can go in and change. They are pre-inputted for you, so you can only choose from the different logos that we have. You will want to notice the color of yours, because if you go to, we'll get there in just a section, a dark banner, you don't want to use the dark logo. You'll want to switch into one of our all white logos. So just keep that in mind, that you can switch out which logo you're showing. Next up, you want to go into your launch website setup wizard. Again, I'm going to be real brief with all of this because I feel like it's mostly done in our 102 class. But you can change the total format of your website. Now, what I don't want you to focus on is the picture here in the background. I want you to focus on the center title here, the tabs down below, and how your information up on top shows. And you have three choices. You have the bungalow, the tutor, and you can notice the tabs are up on top. And this is going to be where all of your headers throughout your website are on the left. They're left aligned. And then the villa. And the villa is again left aligned with those titles, but the tabs are again down below. So once more, you have the bungalow, the tutor, and the villa to choose from. You'll notice here you have the option of going with light text on a dark background or dark text on a light background, and that's going to swap those out for you. If you go with the light text on a dark background, you can change this banner to any color under. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. I am sharing my screen. Janet, can you not see my screen? I have my red outline. Is anybody else not seeing my screen? Just real quick.
I'm just seeing you.
You're only seeing me? Is that you, Janet?
Yeah.
Anybody else? Can anybody else see my screen?
I see your screen.
Okay.
I see your screen.
Thank you very much for confirming.
I see your screen.
Might need to click the bottom.
I
and
see your
change-
screen.
It's like,
Yeah.
I see the
just
screen.
talked for the
I
first,
have that problem too. If you go
Right.
down to the bottom, you'll see gallery view and your screen is in one of the gallery views. So you have to go to the bottom and click on to pull up your screen.
I hope that if not, if that doesn't fix the issue, usually backing all the way out and closing down Teams and coming back in will get you there. Feel free to do that. I will again have this recorded though, so if you want to check it out after.
Hi, I am trying to get since 2 o'clock. So you just started or you started 2 o'clock? I did something wrong that I didn't see you.
My class starts at 2:30 every Tuesday.
Oh, 2:30. Oh, okay. So it just started. Okay.
Yes.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
No problem. Okay, so if we go with the dark background here, we can change it to any color. So if you've got your own branding that you've put together, you can find those colors in here, and that's what you'll be choosing next. So I'm going to click on next and go to colors and fonts. Now we have our preset brand colors here for you, so you can choose any of these and change them however you'd like them to look. If you have, for instance, this agent does have his own color that he tends to use throughout all of his marketing. He's gone ahead and added that in here. So if you know that hex number, you can go ahead and add that in there. Couple different choices for your fonts. Unfortunately, it doesn't give you a preview of those fonts here in the actual drop-down list. But if you click on any of those, you'll see the font displayed to the right. I'm going to go ahead and put that back for him. And then your headline text color. Now, I highly encourage most of my agents to choose a darker text color. It's cleaner, it's easier to read. But again, you have the capability of making this personalized to whatever your branding is and what you feel looks good. After you've gone ahead and updated those, I do want you to take a note here of your primary color and your secondary color. Remember which each of those are, because it is going to come up later on in some of the widgets that we're able to customize. Now Sean's done something where he's gone and taken his own photo. You can add and upload your own photos. You can add up to 4. They will cascade through the top. They're called your hero images through the top of your website every 7 seconds. If you give them a description, that title will actually show as text on top of the image as it's on your website. So if you wanted to, I'll just go ahead and click edit on this. If you want to give it a headline, this will actually show up in text on your website. So if you've got a tagline that you use a lot and you want it to be on one or all of the images, you can do that here. Your description is going to help with anybody with vision issues, and it also helps with Google searching your images, because without text behind those images, it doesn't know what it is. So just a reminder there, anywhere you see the option to put in meta description, put in meta description. It's going to help with your search engine ranking. So you go through, you can change these out whenever you'd like. You're never set in stone. You can go and update. There are, if you're going to be doing your own custom pictures, if you go into the help section of InTouch, which I will say is phenomenal, you'll be able to see what the dimensions for each of the different templates of your website. And what you should be putting as the dimensions for those images to make them fit correctly. Last up here, we're going to choose what we want displayed. So if we want our social links, the office phone number, the company name, cell phone number, name, your logo is always going to be the CB logo. And if you do have your own logo, I encourage agents to go ahead and put that in the footer and throughout in some custom content widgets, but we'll get there in a moment. Right here you have the property search on your main page, and this is going to be like microscopic for you guys, and I apologize for this, but you do have a search section. Let me pull this up on here. This part right here, where your traffic can come in and look up properties, and they can click into this and put in, whatever keywords they want to use here.
5 9 7 8 8.
If you want to add that in, I'm going to go ahead and just mute everybody. I apologize. 2 seconds and get some feedback. Okay. All right. So you can remove it and then add in a search widget, which I think looks really good because if you're using a dark banner here at the top, it does kind of frame that image on your website. But it is, again, to whatever your discretion is, you can change the position of it. So if I wanted it to be left aligned, or if I wanted to be dead smack in the center of this image, I can change that here. And then if you want different text that's in here, you can see he's put in this custom, the market's hottest properties. You can put that in here, search for your dream home, search for your next home, whatever you'd like that property tagline to be or that search tagline to be, and then hit save. Once you've gone ahead and done those initial changes to your setup, what you'll want to do is go back over to your live website and just refresh. And it should pull up any changes that you have made at that point. So remember, any changes you make, to see them on your live website, just go ahead and refresh. And I like to just bring that up to assist you with maybe not having a freak out when those changes aren't showing up on your site. I'm going to bounce out of the websites, the edit website here, and just take you over to the account section because a lot of the information that's going to pull immediately into your website, like your social links, your phone number, your call to action, all of that is going to be pulled directly from your account, my account settings. Okay, so it's important to hop in here, make sure this is all completely and correctly filled out, make sure that you have multiple phone numbers, they're formatted the same. You want to make sure that your bio summary and your full bio are completed. So your full bio is going to populate directly to your about page on your website. The bio summary is going to be the text that shows up in what's called the agent bio card that you can place throughout any of the customizable pages on your website. So you do have 2 sections. This should be real short and sweet, maybe 3 to 4 sentences, and this one is going to be where you put in that full bio. Your social media links are all going to be pulled right here from here. So what you need to do is come in, choose which social media you want to add. So say I wanted to add my Facebook. I'd pop in that Facebook URL there and click save. And now I'll have that icon showing up on my website. Another thing to double check too, just I want to bring it up, you need to get your MLS set up. So if you have, maybe you're just seeing a bunch of them that say approved, but you don't actually have your agent ID and the office ID in your MLS setup, and you don't show that your MLS is approved, then you need to reach out to your sales support administrator or to your field marketing specialist and make sure we walk you through the steps to approve that MLS IDX feed from your specific association. Okay, so I'm going to pause for a second there. Does anybody have any questions with what is here in your account actually feeding into your website and where that goes? Let me go back over to chat, see if I don't have any questions. I do know what size is acceptable to add your own pictures, and I will include that in the recap for you guys. The Tudor, I think the bungalow have the same size, and then the other one has a little bit different. So I will go ahead and I'll just actually put that info right in the email so you don't have to go searching for it in the information section. But always, if in doubt, go to the help, go to your training and support. I think that InTouch has one of the best training libraries that are available for platforms. There's really step-by-step instructions for 99.9% of the things you want to do in here. I'm going to go back over, if we don't have any more questions, to the edit site page. A couple of things just before we get into the fun stuff. Community served is an automatic page on your website. So if you're new to Coldwell Banker, you haven't put in community served before, it means you've got an empty page on your website. What you need to do is hop into community served. add your communities. You can give them any name. So if you wanted to do Tri-City, Tri-Valley, if you wanted to do Alameda County, you just need to include all of those different city names or the zip codes here in this section, so you can group them however you'd like, or you can do city by city. You can also now do a boundary. So if you have a smaller farm, a couple of farms that you want to include as your communities, you can go ahead and draw a map of that small area and include just the data for that area. Your community summary, this will be text that is placed overlaying any images that you upload. So you can upload an image to your community page. The first image you upload is going to be a larger image at the top of those pages, and then any other images that you include will actually go, so it's going to go at the top, the picture, then your community comments that you have here, so your community description, and then it will, smaller images will display below. So if you've got multiple images for each of your different areas, you can add those in. You can add in your key characteristics here. So if it's got the neighbors are friendly, if it's got great holiday spirit, whatever you want to, these are just fun kind of icons. If you want to add your own, you can do so here. Incredibly important, and back to what we talked about a little bit ago, you do want to give each page and any image you upload a meta description and an SEO title. Good rule of thumb is that whatever you're titling this page also shows up somewhere in the text of your meta description. You want to use as many keywords here in your meta description as you possibly can, but you also want it to be legible by anybody that's going to maybe organically search to go to that page. So keep that in mind. If you have more questions on meta description and the SEO title, feel free to reach out after this. I can kind of walk you through and give you an idea of what that's going to look like. And then last up, we want to talk about our testimonials. So if you got a bunch of testimonials on Zillow, go over there, copy them, paste them into here. Super easy to add testimonials to your website. You just click on this add here. You do need a name of the person that gave the testimonial. It doesn't need to be the first and last. It can be Mr. and Mrs. It could be Mr. and Mr. It could be just their first name, however you want to include that there. There's their relationship to you, and then go ahead and paste that in there. I will say that 1,000 characters for some of those who leave us the longer testimonials is quite short, but go ahead and paste that in there. You can kind of shorten them up and play around with it as you see fit. You can add as many testimonials as you want, and how they are displayed on your website we'll get to in just a moment. They also feed into that about page. So after your bio goes your listings and recent sales, and then down below that is where all of your testimonials are listed out. So this can potentially feed into 2 different spots on your website as well. Any questions with any of that I covered on the community served and testimonials before I move on to the fun stuff? All right. I told you to be brief. I tried to keep it under a couple minutes there, so under 10 for the setup part of it. Let's get to the fun stuff. So first up, I want to show you guys that you can add in pages. So you can add in a page, which means on that page, you'll be able to add widget, custom content, anything you want. It's an actual page on your website. You can add in a menu item. So that's just going to be a tab at the top that you'll want to include drop-down items from, which is something that we're going to use when we add in our reports from Prospect Square. So I'll walk you through that in a minute. And then a link. So it's just a link to another page that you can give a title to. And that is also something that we're going to use when we walk through adding in the reports. But first up, before we go to adding in reports, I want to take you guys into the home page. Now, if you click on the drop-down menu, you have a couple of different options here. You can edit the page, you can rename the page, you can change your SEO settings for that page, and then you can just view the page. I would encourage each and every one of you to check out the SEO settings for each and every page on your site, especially those ones that are already set up for you. The reason behind that is we are placing very, very similar keywords and titles, SEO titles, and your meta description for each of these pages for each and every one of you when you are come on board. So if you want to stand apart, if you want to be a little bit less part of the crowd in Coldwell Banker online and with what Google's algorithm does to search your page, you do want to go into each page, go to your SEO title, and think about what you want this to say. You'll notice that this does not use this agent's name. Okay, so that's a big red sign. It also talks about Pleasanton, but he's mostly a Livermore agent. So you can see here there's some things that need to be done. Same thing here. He does have Livermore listed here, but we want to keep very similar keywords in both the SEO title and the meta description. So I might even just pop in here, Livermore, California homes and real estate, and then I would put in by Sean Liggett and click save there. Okay. Now, one thing that drives me absolutely nuts, so as you go through each and every one of these, it really drives me nuts because 90% of our agents are on their own, independent contractors, not on a team when it says contact us. And I get you have that whole Coldwell Banker kind of facade behind you, but I do like to always change this. And what you can do is click that rename, and instead of contact us, pop in that contact me and save that. Just small little, things like that you definitely want to check out as you're going through these. So for some of the pages that are built out for you, you're not going to see the same option. So for the buyers, we can rename this, right? But we can't necessarily go in and make any edits. Same thing for the seller. I guess we can make some edits there. Communities pages. Our resources, we can rename, but our partners, we can also go ahead and make edits. My properties, you can rename. So this is a featured properties site where you can have both what's offered within our offices, so which your branch has on the market right now, and then also include all of your past sales on that page. The about section, again, we want to make those edits. You can make some edits here, but if you wanted to change your bio in any way, you'd want to do that in your account information. And then the contact me page. So just come through and kind of check out those SEO settings for them. Make sure they're titled the same or titled how you want them to display. What I will say is if you're going to be renaming each of these pages, be wary if you're in all caps or if you're going to be just capitalizing the first of the word of that name you're giving it, because you don't want to have like home and then 4 buyers in all capital letters, because that's what it's going to display as on your website. It won't correct that for you. So just be wary when you're doing that. All right, let's hop into the home page here and let's talk about some of the widgets that we can add in. So by default, you're going to get a couple of things. Obviously, we can't change anything with the website layout here. You will get your agent bio card that'll populate. You'll also have some custom content, and it's your local professional or exceeding excellence, something like that, that's already some custom content that we put in there for you. Now, again, back to what I was talking about earlier, Coldwell Banker puts that in for you so you have content on your website. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it sounds good, but it's the same content on every single website for every single agent. So if you want to stand out, you want to have a higher search ranking, you need to go in and customize that content. You need to change some of the words out, change all the words out, change the header of it, add in some information so that when Google searches you, so from what I understand from the algorithm, if it sees the exact same content on multiple websites, it actually drops down the ranking of that particular website. So you want to have very customized pieces. You also want to include throughout your website links to very reputable websites. So the city government on your communities pages, local municipalities, if you have emergency numbers and things like that, that you can add in information about the community activities and events. Those are all really great links to include throughout your website. I'll show you guys how you can link those in just a moment. Videos are also really great to add, but you have just one custom content widget when you're basically starting out that you can add to. You have your community served, recent sales, featured properties, testimonials. All right, and you can see here at the bottom, I can go ahead and add in a widget, or at the very top, I can add in a widget. So say I wanted to do 2 agent contact cards, which would be kind of silly to do. Community served, if I removed it and then added it back in. My recent sales, search properties. This is what I was talking about. When you take it out of the hero image at the top of the website, you can add it back in. And I'll show you, I'll actually go ahead and click that in just a moment. The custom content widget is where you're going to be able to add in your images and your video. If you just want to add in an image, you can do so here. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you guys a brief look into the search properties widget. So what happens is I get this already pre-made widget here. I can give it any headline I want. So if I wanted to say, discover your dream home. Now you remember in the website wizard setup, you had a primary color and a secondary color. Those are shown here by your accent 1 and accent 2. So this color is not necessarily the color that is the one that I chose. It's just a place filler here. So this would be my primary color. This would be my secondary color. And then I have the all white background option. Okay. I think there's one more where it's just that little search bar here. So whatever I choose, whichever choice I choose here, so you can remember he had that light blue as his primary color. I'm going to go ahead and just save that. And it's automatically going to add any new widget to the very bottom of my page, which is kind of weird because I want this to, like I said, frame that top picture. So what I want to do is hover over this widget. And then I want to see this gray bar here, and I'm going to pull this widget and I'm going to pull all the way up, and I can see all the different widgets I have in the order that they are on my site, and I can just drop that in where I would like it. And now it populates directly below that hero image. Okay. Now, if you go in and you play around and you're making edits and you're having a good time, but you're like, ooh, that does not look good, and I want to remove it, click on the 3 dots in the right-hand corner and click Edit. You can make any edits to it that you'd like, or if you just want to remove it altogether, you can click the delete if you want to move it down. But again, I think it's easier just to kind of pull it and move it where I'd like it, or I can delete this. Okay. So if you remove something, you can always add it back in. If you want to make changes to each of these different widgets, there are display options for each and every one of them. So for the custom content widget, if we go in and we click on edit, we get the first option of what our template's going to be. So we got white background, primary color, secondary color. Now say I wanted to use my secondary color for this custom content widget. I'm clicking to next. I probably want to make some changes to my text color because it is in black and I'm using a gray, but it should look okay because it's a light one. It'll give you a preview of what that's now going to look like. And it looks like it automatically changed all but one of the lines here in the colors. So go back in and change that to white. I'm going to go back though, so we're not making any changes here to Mr. Leggett's website. Keep it back to where it was. Next again, next, and save. And we're back to normal. Now I can move this around, I can change it, I can change the video that's in there, and we'll get there in just a second. I want to take you through a tour here of the different options for each of these tiles. So community served has a couple different ways it can be displayed. So again, we're clicking on the 3 dots of the grayed out bar here, and we're going to click on edit. So our first option is 3, and it will automatically pull in some kind of just stock images for you. You have a community here, but if you don't fill in that community description, it's probably not going to show and you'll be able to scroll through on the website. So this would be a weird thing to use if you're not going to actually put in the time to put in the copy into each of those communities pages. This is my least favorite, but if you had one image that you wanted to use and then add in your cities, you can. This is a really great option, as well as this one, if you have a lot of different communities. So if you're doing a lot of different cities, this is the best one to use because it actually allows you to display all of them The ones like this are only going to have a max of 6 on your site at a time. And the 3-party one is going to be 3 at a time. So if you've got more than 6, and you want them to all show up all the time, this is not going to be an option for you if you want them all there, because it's going to just randomly choose them. Now, when you put in your communities into your communities section, you can indicate which one of those communities is your primary community. So if you have a primary community and you choose that or indicate that that is your primary community, it will always show up. So it can be an option as long as you just want your one main community to show up and don't care if the others kind of rotate in and out. But when they go to your communities page, they'll be able to access anything you have. So good kind of rule of thumb, if you've got a lot, this option is going to be best for you. If you have 2, this looks silly. Just going to put it out there. There's like 1 over here and 1 down here and a really big amount of space. So I would probably go with one of the other options. And again, feel free to play with this as much as you want. You're not going to break it. You can always delete it and start over. You can always come back in and make changes and edits. So I'm just going to real quick show you what it would look like if we were to change to this format for Mr. Leggett. So you can see he's got 3 main areas that he services, and that's a lot of empty space here within this. So his choice with the 3 different options, because he's got the 3, was the best for really where he services and his community served and what it's going to populate on his website for him. Okay, so into recent sales and to featured properties. Now these 2 are very similar, so I'm going to just kind of pop into the recent sales and give you guys an option here. One of them does have 4 display options, one has 3. I think it looks best if you have both your recent sales and your featured properties displaying the same on your website. I think if you have 2 different display types, it's a little interesting, but we're going to go back into that edit. Same thing here. So we can give it a new headline. If you want your own custom headline, you can put that in here. You could say if you're on a team or you have a somebody you work with all the time, then you could put our recent sales or our past properties. The first option here displays the home, has the information down below. The second option, you'll notice it has this little hand icon here. That means anytime you roll your cursor over the top of these images, it pops up with the address, the bed, bath, and the price. You have this with the kind of shadowed overlay with the price and where they're at. And then this is probably, I mean, it looks real cool. But unless you've got a lot of like past global luxury or really great photos that you can display in that large of a landscape mode, this kind of does look fun, little funny. I'm just going to say, because it kind of skews the images when they're pulled through from the MLS. So be careful of choosing this one, but if you like it and it looks good on your site, feel free. Again, this is your choice. I'm going to go back to what he had chose with those, and he's got those matching with the way that actually looks like he's got them different. Hold on, let's pop in here and take a look. So the featured properties has 3 different choices you can choose, again, with the scan. So he actually has a different option right now for his featured properties than he does for his past sales. But that's his prerogative, and that's what he'd like to do. I'll just give you a preview here, pretty similar to what we had with the past sales and the big option. So 3 for this one. We don't have that shadow with the overlay option for the featured properties. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to save this back to what he had. I am going to 2 options for the testimonials on what that's displayed as. So I'll give you a look at this. Okay, so in a box or in quotations, those are your 2 choices for that. And with that, I'm going to pause for a moment, see if we have any questions. Anybody needs me to kind of re-go through the different display options and the different widgets that are available for you within your home page and really within any editable page on your website. Don't be shy, you guys. I hope you guys are having a good time kind of following along with all of this. But each and every one of them, except for your top website's layout, is going to have a different version. But again, you can make that website layout change in your setup wizard. Once you have made edits to your website, you'll want to click on the preview and save option here. And what's awesome right now, or since the beginning of last year, they've given us the ability to not only see what our website's going to look like on a desktop device, but a tablet and a mobile device. Okay, so definitely check that out. 54% of people are going to be on a mobile device, so a tablet or a phone. The other 46 are going to be looking at it from their desktop devices. So you want to definitely make sure that whatever you're displaying on mobile and tablet looks just as good or even better than what's on the desktop version. Once you're A-OK with this, go ahead and click save. If you're not A-OK, go back to editing. It really doesn't matter though, because, well, it does matter if you don't want to make those changes. If you want to make changes, save it. If you want to go back to editing, but it's going to take you to the same spot regardless. So I'm going to go close this out. And we've made changes to our home page. Okay. All right, if there's no question, how do you get an add a video widget? So that's where we're going right now. So I'm going to go back into your home page. And to add any video or add any images, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and add in a custom widget. So we're going to click on that add up here at the top, and we're going to go to custom content. Okay, we can give it anything we'd like it to say here. So I'm just going to put in, let's say, this week at home. Or there. Actually, I think I got featured properly. No, it was the commercial. Let's just put in CB commercial. Okay, if you want to choose a different background color, again, you have those two choices of your primary, secondary, or a white background. Completely up to you. I'm going to click on next. And here's where we can add in our videos and our images. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pop over to YouTube. I've already got it pulled up here. I've got our 2020 advertising campaign video pulled up. You can add any video you want from YouTube. So that if you have your own personal videos that you want to include, you've got like an MP4 file, it's time to create a YouTube channel for yourself and start uploading those there so you can share them to your website. We are going to click on the share button here at the bottom. And we want to click on the embedded code. Okay, so we're going to click on embedded code and we get this whole iframe here. Now, if I wanted to start at a particular time point in this video, so say I didn't want to show the whole video, just wanted to start some point in, you can go ahead and click at start at and put that time frame in there so you could say whatever you wanted to. I'm just going to keep it off that though, because we're going to start at the start. And then what you're going to do is you're going to copy this embedded code and we're going to go back over to where we have our custom content widget open. Now, right here is your source code. And I want you to click into that. And then all you need to do is paste that code that you copied from YouTube into the source code and click OK. Okay, so now we've got the video here, but say we've got everything else on our web page is center aligned. I'm just going to highlight this, and you won't really see it highlighted, but you're just going to kind of drag across it, and then you want to go to this guy here and click to center align, and it'll pull that to the center for you. Okay, and you can also click in front of it, and if you wanted to give it a little title, you can obviously already have the headline there. If you wanted to put some text in here, you can do so. Does anybody have any questions on how to do that? I can run through it one more time if you'd like. Okay, go ahead, Joanne. Okay, hand went up, hand went down. Pretty simple to do. A lot of times when I get questions on is, say I want to do multiple videos, and I want them to, like, where do I put it into the source code? Now, what I want to show you guys is something I showed a couple of the SSAs I have. So if I click enter after that source code that I entered, and let's say I put in like 3 or 4 more enters in there. When I click back into the source code, you're able to see all 3 enters that I've put in there. That is the code for that spacing. So that's each line that I went down is that spacing. So say I wanted to just do 1 line between this video and the next video I input. So let's go back over to YouTube. Let's hop out of here and say, let's do the 2015 commercial that we have. I'm gonna go ahead again, share, the embedded code, copy that, pop back over to your custom widget. I've got that space in there, or that line. I'm going to go ahead and just paste that embedded code and click OK. Now I've got my first video in, I've got my second video in. I'm going to go ahead and highlight this section here, click on center. Hopefully it'll do it for me because sometimes it's a little bit of a bugger. There we go. Okay. So I've got my 2 videos in there. All I need to do at this point is click next. It's going to give me a preview of what that page is going to look like. And I can click save. And now I'll have those videos added to my website after I click preview and share, of course. I'm going to go back real quick. We've got both our videos in here. I want to now add, say, an image in. I'm just going to put a couple of spaces in there just for me in my brain. And then this little guy here, it's a box with a mountain and a sun or a moon in it, is the icon. You're going to want to push on that, and then you can choose from your, either you can upload an image from your desktop device. You have a few images that are available for you in the catalog. I apologize, bear with me. In the banner section here, we have a few images of homes, in interior, exterior, some landscapes that are in there. But if you had your own video that you, or sorry, own image you wanted to upload, you can drag and drop that image here. That's just, I already got it open up here. So say I want to add in the American flag, upload. Meta description again so that Google can search this image. So I'm just going to say American flag with clouds in background and save. Now I've got an image in here, but it's quite large. Okay, you can go ahead and grab one of those corners and make it a little bit smaller and change the size once you've got it in here. So if you wanted it to match the size of the other 2 videos you've already got, you can do that. Just click outside of it. If I want to remove any of this, all I need to do is backspace and it will erase it. I can highlight and backspace, oops, right before it, backspace, and I can erase it. Okay, so again, it should be a lot of fun for you guys to get in here and play around, because whatever you create and whatever you're trying to accomplish is always deletable. And if you are running into any issues, feel free to reach out to your SSA or your field marketing specialist. We love to help you with this. But that is how to add a video and how to add an image. I'm going to pause for a moment and see. It looks like we have a question. I created a YouTube video in Concierge for my new listing. It would not share source code as it was protected. So what I would do in that instance is I can't remember if you can download the MP4 and upload it to your own channel. The other option is there are some YouTube to MP4 converters. I'll include a link to the one that I usually use. All you do is just like, let's see, you would grab the shareable link here and pop that into the converter, choose that you want an MP4, and it'll actually convert it to a video that you can save on your desktop and then upload to your own YouTube channel. That would be the route I would take for that. And I will include the link to that YouTube to MP4 converter in the recap. But that's an awesome question. Any other questions out there? Okay. I hope you guys are having a good time with some of this stuff. I hope it's getting your imagination and creativity going. I'm just going to go ahead and save and preview and exit out of this one last time here. And we're going to get into adding those Prospect Square marketing reports. Okay, so what you want to do is obviously you're going to need to have InTouch open. You're going to need to have Prospect Square open. Go into Prospect Square, go to reports, and go to either your area or your quarterly report. Those are those live reports that are already created for you. The links update, or the data updates automatically, so the links don't ever decay, they don't expire, so you're not going to have to do any maintenance using either of these two reports. If you do a lot of different areas, the quarterly reports are going to be great for you because you only have to need to like add 2 or 3 maybe, and then on the quarterly reports at the very bottom of those, it actually will give you a preview of all of the area reports for the cities within that county. So whenever I'm adding quarterly reports or reports to an agent's website, unless they have, like Sean does, like 3 cities that he works for, I usually go with the entire county. Now, for the most part, if you've never sent out a quarterly report, you're going to see a blank screen here. And honestly, even for me, this is like, oh crap, what do I do? Do I need to create something? No. You need to click on this preview and share here at the top. And it's going to take you to all of those pre-made reports for you. You can see these are all by county here. All right. And this is our live link that's here for us to pretty much put anywhere. Also want to just note, if you guys are looking for some content for your social media, this is a real cool way to send your reports out. And what I would do with this is, so if I wanted to add in the Alameda County report to my website, I want to first copy this link here. Okay. Now, unfortunately, for some reason, InTouch does not like the link. There's some sort of text or some sort of something in there that it's going to give you an error message. So I'll just give you a little, oh, hold on, I didn't get the whole thing. It was way longer than that. Okay. Oh my goodness. Bear with me, everybody. Okay. All right. So for some reason, oh my goodness. Rookie mistakes over here, everybody. Hang on for a minute. Let's see. Let's do it the old way here. Copy and paste. Wow. Oh, let's try a different county. Let's do Contra Costa County. All right. That's going to really mess up this whole part of this copy. Okay, so in short, it doesn't like the link from Prospect Square. You're gonna get some kind of error message for it. Oh, it's probably because I'm putting it in the link text. I apologize, everybody. Okay, there's where your URL can go, is in the top section there. So you'll see I chose link, and then you want to put the link in here. And this is the one from Prospect Square. I can't remember if I grabbed, which one have I got? Yeah, Alameda County. So then I just do Alameda County as the title text for that link. And I'm going to click save. Now you're going to see, sorry, cannot make this change this time. I'm not sure what it doesn't like about this link. So in order to rectify this issue, what we're going to do is use an external company called Bitly. And for free, you can shorten any of your links. So you're going to come to Bitly, and I'll include this in the recap. You're going to click in, and you're going to paste that long link into here, and you're just going to click shorten. It's going to give you a brand new, very short and sweet link there. I'm going to copy that and head back over, and I'm going to pop that in there. And it loves these short links. I'm going to click save. And congratulations, I've got a new item. Okay, so I don't want to just have an Alameda County report hanging out there. I want to actually have like a title and have a few reports underneath it. So what I'm going to use is that menu item. Okay, and I'm going to say real estate reports as the title, and click save. All right, so I've got my real estate reports, and I want to take this Alameda County, and I'm just grabbing, dragging, and dropping until I see that bullet point, and I'm going to leave that there and click save. Let's do this one more time, and I'll show you what this looks like on your live website. So we're going to go over to Prospect Squared. We're going to go to Contra Costa County now. I'm going to copy that link. I'm going to go to Bitly. I'm just going to refresh this page here. I'm going to paste in my long link from Prospect Square and click shorten. Copy that. Bring it right back over to my edit page. I'm going to add a link. I'm going to put the link in the right field. Sorry about that, everybody. I'm going to give this a text, title text, Contra Costa County, and click save. Once I have saved that new linked page, I'm going to drag it till it's a bullet point under that title tab and click save. Now on Mr. Sean's website, you will notice that here I have my real estate reports, okay? And this is not clickable. When I click on the real estate reports, it doesn't go anywhere. But if I want to go to the Alameda County report, I can click that. It's going to open as a new window, and it's going to have the report for Alameda County. And again, why I like these county reports, if you are servicing multiple areas, is it breaks it down into the monthly reports for each of the different cities within that county. Any questions with adding reports to your website? I think it's a pretty awesome thing to do. It's great content, great information, and it's live. You don't have to go back and do any maintenance with it. No questions, huh? All right, well, if I still got your attention, we're going to do one last fun thing. I'm going to show you guys how, if you were to be specifically, targeting one area, or you wanted to say have checkout properties in Livermore or properties in Livermore on the top as a tab, what you can do is go to your home page here, and you're going to put in /advanced. Advanced search. It's going to take you to an advanced search page. Now, prior to COVID-19 and the whole shutdown, what I thought was really fun about this is we could look up what's coming out with open houses this weekend. So you can do a search for just open houses coming up and have like an open house page with all of the open houses for that week. So when we get back into it, that's something super cool to add. For now, probably wouldn't be that. It would just be kind of a dead page. But you can say go for, so let's just do 94550, which is part of Livermore. So maybe that's in my farm. Maybe I want to not include, maybe I'm a global luxury agent. I just want to do global luxury properties. So I'm going to put my minimum at whatever that price point is and have no max. I don't really need maximums on beds, baths, square footage, or lot size. If I want to include any of the property types here or any of them here, I can do that and then click search. So now I've got all of the 14 listings in Livermore in that zip code that are above that price point showing up. And what I want to do with this link is, again, create a page on my edit website page within InTouch. I'm going to click on add. And this time we're going to go with another link and pop that URL right in here. And I'm going to say Livermore GL properties. Global. And hit save. Oh, make me shorten it again. Again, it's really great to have Bitly in your back pocket, everybody. Shorten this, copy, go back into my edit page and pop that in there and save that. And congratulations, I now have global luxury properties that are just a page with all the most recent global luxury properties in whatever area I add into that search criteria. So you want to go to advanced search on your website, put in whatever criteria you have here. Now, if you want more criteria, you're not seeing it pop up here. For instance, I don't have the choice to choose an open house. You need to go back into your edit website page here and go to your search options. Whatever you have checkmarked here is what they're going to be able to checkmark on their side, or what you're going to be able to choose for your search, your advanced search. So make sure if you wanted to include a pool, or if you wanted to include open houses, all of that is going to be something that you can checkmark in here. It's not showing up here, but it does have open houses available when we get back into it. Any questions with adding in different links, the difference between a linked page, a page, and a menu item? Any questions with any of that? Okay. You can always, if you create, so say I create something, I'm working on a page, maybe I want to do an events page and I'm working on that. For those pages that you are working on, you are going to have the ability to unpublish that page until you're done working on it, and you can publish it once you've created all of the content on there. In addition to that, I mean, it's just a lot of fun. A lot of agents I've had have put together web pages where it's all of their contractors that they use, all their recent, handymen or inspectors, and have all of that information. So as you're going through and as you're creating your website, and as you are not only showing who you are, also think about what is going to make your life a little bit easier. So, and what I mean by that is, think about your frequently asked questions or requests from your clients. If you can house that information and that content on your website, that's valuable stuff. That's something you want to put on your website. So contacts for that. If it's frequently asked questions that you can do on either you're a buyer agent or a seller's agent, something along those lines, that's all really great content to include on your website. If I don't have any questions or any comments, I'm just going to say thank you very much to all of you for your time. We are at the 3:30 mark right now. I will include the recording of this class on the recap. That will also include not only the Bitly website, it will include the sizing formats for the images, for your hero images, and I will also include the MP4 YouTube converter. But yeah, feel free to reach out if you guys have questions. If you do need assistance with any of this, your field marketing specialist is probably your go-to for it. I know we've got some really excellent sales support administrators out there that are fabulous at this too. But I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for your time.